If you want to crack UPSC prelims examination, you have to do well in the environment subject, because out of all the subjects in the prelims examination, the number of questions coming from the environment subject is the highest. Guys, in the last 10 years, the number of questions in the prelims from the environment subject is around 15 to 20 questions, which is around 20% of the paper is coming from the environment subject. So you cannot ignore environment subject. But in the environment subject, guys, there are three big problems which most of the UPSC aspirants face. I'm going to solve these three problems. The first problem is, should you focus more on the static subject or on the current affairs? Guys, if you see, out of all the current affairs compilation, it is the environment compilation which is the most bulky compilation, because you have a lot of developments in environment, whether it is environment conventions, whether it is species, whether it is protected area. So it becomes really challenging for the aspirants to cover current affairs compilations of the environment. And when you cover the static book also, you can see in the static book, out of all the static books, guys, environment subject static book, whether it is the Shankar IAS book or PMF IAS, lot of facts are given. So it becomes really challenging for the aspirant to cover both the static and the current as far as environment is concerned. So today I'm going to solve this dilemma, where you should put your energy on the static part or on the current affairs part on the basis of real time data. Okay, the next is, should you read the NCERT, Shankar IAS or PMF IAS book? Guys, all these three books are really very high quality books, but what should you read? Should you read all three books? Should you read only NCERT? Should you read only Shankar IAS book? Today I'm going to solve this problem also. And the last is, out of all the chapters given in this book, which chapters you should focus? Because guys, if you read the Shankar IAS book or the PMF IAS book, there are more than 20-25 chapters. So do you need to read all the chapters? This is a big problem which many aspirants face. I'm going to solve this. Guys, I'm going to give you 5 most important themes from where most of the questions are coming in the UPSC prelims examination from the environment, which has helped me crack 6 out of 6 prelims. Guys, you can see here the kind of scores which I have scored. It cannot be scored without mastering environment. As I told you guys, 20% of the paper is environment. So I mastered environment, guys. By mastering these 5 important themes, 90% of the questions in the environment subject is coming from these important themes. If you master these 5 important themes, you need not read the entire book, guys. So please stay till the end of the video and get all these 5 important themes. I'm going to share the technique of mastering these 5 important themes also. So let us start the video. The very first dilemma is static versus current. Guys, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the PYQ analysis to basically give a solution to this dilemma. Guys, if you see, most of the aspirants, what they do, they keep jumping from static to current, and in static they keep jumping from one source, which is the NCERT, to Shankar book or to the PMF book. Okay, so they keep doing this, they waste a lot of time. So what we have to first do is that we have to understand the recent trend in the UPSC prelims examination. For that, we have to analyze the PYQ. So I have done a PYQ analysis of 2025 prelims paper from the environment subject. You can see here 12 questions out of 15 questions which were purely environment question. 15 questions were purely environment question. 12 questions out of 15 questions, which is 80%. Can you imagine? 80% of the environment subject questions were from the current affairs. You have the answer in front of you, that you need to focus among static and current. What aspect? It is the current aspect, guys. You can see only 3 questions out of 15 questions, which is just 20%, were purely static question. And these were static questions from only one part of the syllabus which I'm going to give you. Okay, so this is one dilemma. I think the problem is now solved. You need to focus more on the current aspect rather on the static aspect. This is the biggest problem, I'm telling you. Most of the aspirants, they waste a lot of time. Out of 100 queries I get from environment subject, 99 queries are, should I read the book, sir? Should I read all the chapters, sir? So now you have the solution in front of you. Now, guys, you can see some of the questions which came last year. You can see this Article 6 question, Paris Agreement. You can see this COP 28 question. Again, it's a current affairs question. This is purely current affairs. This is purely current affairs. Okay. Many people will say, sir, how can you be confident that these are current affairs question? You can see I have given in my Optima test. You can see this Optima full length test 1. You can see exactly Article 6 Paris Agreement question, statement 1, statement 2 format, which came in the exam I had given. Guys, what else you need? Guys, I'm telling you, most of the questions from the environment I'm able to guess in my test series, because guys, my experience of last 10-15 years, you can see my scorecards. I have a command over environment. I know what UPSC question setters do in environment, because I have been following the paper PYQs for the last 15-20 years, and I exactly know from where they pick questions, because I have analyzed last 25 years question very deeply. You can see another question which I had, okay, this I had given Optima card also. You can see Article 6 I had given Optima card also. You can see this again, this question, nature restoration law. This I had given Optima card directly. Again, you can see here circular economy I had given Optima card. Many people say, sir, circular economy is static. No, circular economy is not static. It's a current affairs. It's a contemporary affairs. Contemporary affairs means it is in news for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, this is called contemporary affairs. You can see I had covered this in my Optima card. I had given this in my Optima test also, circular economy question. You can see this COP28. Again, I have covered this in my Optima card and Optima test. Okay, again, you can see this question. Okay, artificial rain for air pollution. You can see I had given exactly the same question in my Optima test. You can see most of the questions I have predicted in my test series from the current affairs. You can see I had given a card also for this problem. You can see here artificial rain for air pollution. I had given an Optima card also. So most topics you see which came in the exam, I had given an Optima card on that. Guys, Optima test and Optima cards are the best revision what you can do in the last 60 days, because these are only on important topics. These are only on predicted topics. Guys, I have the ability to predict questions. I have been doing this. I have cracked myself all 6 prelims. I can help you crack the prelims examination, guys. Okay, so what I was telling you is that for the environment subject, focus more on the current affairs. You can refer this compilation also, environment compilation. You can read any compilation, guys. Most of the compilation, okay, everything is coming from the current affairs only. You can read any compilation. You can read my compilation also. I have covered most of the important stuff in my compilation. Okay, you can contact me through this number. You can call me through this number if you want my current affairs compilations. Okay, now moving to the static. Is in static, guys, you can see questions have come like this. You can see species related question, plastic pollution. You can see this question again. So you can see here most of the static oriented questions are either coming on the section which is the first section. Okay, ecosystem. Okay, you can see here species. Okay, and here you can see climate change. We can say climate change. Okay, so guys, what we need to do? Okay, as far as environment static is concerned, the biggest dilemma among UPSC aspirants is, should they read the NCERTs, or should they read the Shankar IAS book, or should they also prefer the PMF IAS book? So today I'm going to clear this dilemma, guys. So you can see we have the NCERT. In NCERT there are around 5 chapters, which is the ecology section of class 12 biology book. Then we have the Shankar IAS book, environment, and then we have the PMF IAS book. Guys, first of all, these two books are excellent. These two books are really excellent. So do not read both these books. You can read only one among them if you want to read. Okay, if you do not have time, and now we have only 70 to 80 days remaining for the prelims examination, right now I think the best strategy should be just read the NCERT, all the 5 chapters, to clear your basic concepts. If you do not have the time to read the entire Shankar IAS book, you do not have the time to read the entire PMF IAS book, so directly read the NCERT, these 5 chapters. I have given the strategy for these 5 chapters in my Laksh test series. And what you need to do is that, as far as these two books are concerned, okay, just read those chapters which are not properly covered in this book. Do not do repetitive study, that you read the same concept from this book, again same concept from the reference book. Okay, so keep this NCERT book as your reference book, and use this Shankar IAS book or PMF IAS book as for reference. Those concepts which are not covered in NCERT, do it from here. If you do not want to read any of these books, what you can do is that just solve my static tests which are there in my test series. Go through this static test. This static test will cover all the important concepts which are there in this book. This static test, you can see NCERT static test. Then we have the environment advanced static test, environment advanced part 2 static test, and one test is specifically on species and protected area. This is my Laksh test series. Here you can cover, if you solve these 400 questions, you can cover all these 3 books effectively. Okay, like for example 100 questions, this NCERT test will help you cover this book, and these 2 tests, these 3 tests will help you cover these 2 books. Okay, so you can do this also, it's up to you. If you want to get access to this static test, this is my number. You can contact me through Telegram. Okay, or you can call me between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, next is, guys, as far as the five themes which I promised that I will be giving you five important themes where most of the questions are coming in the UPSC prelims examination. So I have done a PYQ analysis, and as per the PYQ analysis, you can see in front of you that approximately 25% of the questions are coming from conventions and international institutions related to environment, and again 25% of the questions are coming from climate change. So these two themes, one is climate change and other is the conventions and international institutions related to environment. Around 50% of the questions are coming. As far as convention and international institutions are concerned, mostly the questions are current oriented. So I'm giving you the dimension of the question also. What kind of dimension of question comes from international conventions and institutions? It's current oriented. I have just shown you, if you remember, that the kind of questions which have come from international convention, you can see most of the questions have come. You can see these questions, conventions, most of the questions have come which are current oriented. You can see this is a current oriented question. Okay. So my sincere request to every one of you is that please go through the current affairs compilation which I have prepared. This will help you to cover these two important sections, because these two important sections mostly questions are coming current oriented. As far as this climate change, little bit static questions can also come. Okay, little bit static questions can also come. Then pollution, again you can see 20% question coming from pollution, which is the third important theme. Pollution also you can see questions are mostly current oriented, but here some static oriented question can come, like for example, what is the basics of noise pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, or questions can come very are very basic like bioremediation and all that. Okay, next we have species and protected area. Around 13% of the questions are coming from species and protected area, means out of 15, around two questions you can expect from species and protected area. This also is mostly current oriented. Okay, mostly current oriented. Those species which are there in news, generally those species are only asked. Then we have 13% question coming from ecosystem. Around two questions are coming from ecosystem. This is completely static. This is completely static. Now what I'm going to do is that I will walk you through the entire book of the Shankar IAS and the PMF IAS, and I'll give you the important chapters and important themes which you need to read as far as static is concerned. Okay, so as far as five themes, okay, which I had promised, I will be giving you five themes. Which are these five themes? We have international conventions and institutions, then we have the climate change, then we have the pollution, then we have the species and protected area, then we have the ecosystem. And what is the priority? The first priority should be given to international convention and institutions, the second priority to the climate change, third priority should be given to the pollution, fourth priority should be given to species and protected area, and the last priority should be given to the ecosystem basic concepts. Okay, but this is really important for understanding of the environment subject. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to walk you through the important chapters which are there from this book. Okay, before that, guys, again I would like to tell you this is my predicted series for the UPSC prelims examination Lakshya series. Guys, I have the credibility of I have the experience of cracking prelims 6 out of 6 times. Make use of this experience, guys, and crack the prelims examination. So guys, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to walk you through the important chapters. So guys, as far as environment book of Shankar IAS or PMF IAS is concerned, these two chapters are the most important. Please go through the basics of these chapters. For example, what is ecosystem, what are primary producers, what are secondary producers. These terms, ecotone, niche, biome, these terms are very, very important. Sometimes simple one-liner question can come. As far as this chapter is really, really very, very important. Do not miss this chapter. Here you can see questions have come on food chain, food web, trophic level, ecological pyramids. Then guys, bioaccumulation, biomagnification, a very favorite theme of UPSC prelims examination. Then biogeochemical cycle, very, very important. This year you may expect question on nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle is very popular in the UPSC prelims examination. Moving on, guys, aquatic ecosystem, again very important here, guys. Coral reefs, mangroves, wetlands, these are the most important themes in the prelims examination. Every year you have one question on coral reefs, one question on mangroves, or on wetlands. Okay, out of these three, at least one question you will get every year. I'm telling you, every year you will have one question out of these three themes. Next is pollution. Pollution, guys, air pollution. Okay, we have then water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, light pollution, e-waste, plastic waste, thermal pollution, bioremediation. So guys, here I'm thinking noise pollution is an theme which UPSC has not touched. Light pollution is one theme which UPSC has not touched. UPSC has already asked questions on air pollution, which is favorite theme. Water pollution also UPSC has asked. Even this BOD and COD and oil spill, UPSC has not asked recently. These are in news. Okay, then e-waste is a popular theme. Plastic waste is a popular theme. Bioremediation is a popular theme. Go through it. Next is, you can see environmental issues. Just go through it. Not very important, but have a look at it. Next, this chapter is really very, very important. Please go through the basics of biodiversity, the levels of biodiversity, biodiversity, the measurement of biodiversity, ecosystem services, biodiversity conservation, IUCN, Red Book. All these are the most important theme in the prelims examination. Then guys, these are factual stuff. Okay, Indian biodiversity, you can see animal biodiversity, plant biodiversity. This is really very tough. I will say that as far as these three chapters are concerned, focus more on the current affairs compilation, which are the species which are in use. Just focus on them. Okay, here guys, in invasive species is an important theme which is coming in the theme like current affairs a lot of times. So invasive species you should prepare. Next guys, phytoplanktons is again a theme. Seagrass is again a theme which is emerging, which is very very important because they are like a carbon sink. Next we have protected area network. Sacred groves is an emerging theme for the prelims examination. Difference between wildlife parks, wildlife sanctuary, community reserves, very very important. Biosphere reserves, again an important theme. Then Project Tiger, Project Elephant, Project Vulture, Great Indian Bustard. Okay, conservation effort, again very very important. Conservation effort is really very very important, guys. You can see a lot of species covered, guys. All these species which are covered in the species recovery program are important. Snow leopard, bustard, dolphin, hangul, nilgiri tahar, marine turtles, dugongs. Then we have the buffalo, we have the Nicobar megapod, okay, Asiatic lion, swamp deer. All these species are really very very important. At least prepare these 22 species are really important. Next, climate change. As I told you, it's an important theme. Static oriented questions do come from climate change. Ocean acidification, again it's a link to climate change. Then mitigation strategies, here you can see last year they have asked, okay, carbon trading. Then they have asked on carbon capture. All these are mitigating strategies, very very important, very very important mitigation strategies. This chapter is really 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 very very important. Next, moving on guys, agriculture theme is becoming very important, guys. Agriculture theme, okay, here you can see climate change organizations, mostly questions are current oriented. Focus more on the current orientation. They are not going to ask old things. They're not going to ask old things. Focus on current dimension here. Acts and policies, again this is an important theme. Okay, focus on environment protection act this year is very very important. Even wildlife protection act is important this year. Already UPSC has asked question biodiversity act recently. Okay, next comes institutions. Institutions also very important. Go through all the institutions. Okay, next you can see international conventions. Again here also current oriented, mostly questions are coming current oriented. Okay, these are important, but we like there are so many organizations, we can't say that what is which to leave, which to study as far as static is concerned. But suppose animal welfare board, it is in current affairs, then this becomes very important. Okay, understand how UPSC will pick the static topic. The questions will come static oriented, but the topic will come from the current affairs. Like animal welfare board is important this year. Okay, like, so go through current affairs properly. You will get an idea about the static also, which is important. If you are part of my private Telegram channel, I have a private Telegram channel of enrolled students of Lakshya and Optima. There I'll be giving you important topics, both static and current. Go through these topics. These topics are really very very important for the prelims examination. If you like this strategy video, if you want me to give you exact topics in the coming videos, I will be giving. Please do like, subscribe and share this with all the aspirants who are preparing for the UPSC prelims examination this year.